Good morning. Welcome to AVNewsCast.com. Well, I was a little phlegmy on that one, wasn't I?
Wow.
TMI.
Nice.
Note to self, clear your throat before...
Note to self, you are phlegmy.
It's Tuesday, it's the 15th. We covered a story yesterday about the 23-year-old New Jersey police officer that was gunned down, that was killed. 1 year on the service.
Yeah.
At Walgreens. There was a memorial set up.
1 year.
1 year.
23, he's a baby.
He was. He was. There was a memorial set up for the thug
What?
that killed the officer.
Well, what do you mean? Come on.
There was a memorial
Come on.
in the neighborhood that he lived in. Okay? People were putting flowers, liquor bottles, T-shirts.
Oh, where the police shot him?
No, in the neighborhood where he lived.
Okay.
Okay? And
Pouring a sip out of the 40?
people were dropping off notes, thug in peace.
Oh,
Yeah.
See you on the other side.
Yeah.
This guy,
We're so broken.
yep.
We are.
so broken.
his wife,
The guy who shot him had a wife?
the shooter,
Okay.
his name is Lawrence Campbell. Okay?
Had a wife?
He had a wife.
How old was he?
Okay? I don't know. Not important anyway.
I love that.
Had a wife. Her name is Angelique.
Okay.
She was interviewed last night by Channel 12 News in New Jersey. And she made this statement live on TV.
Oh.
Wait for it.
Her husband should have killed more officers.
That's
He didn't do enough damage. He should have killed more officers.
Wow.
Okay? She says, why is everybody mourning for the police officer? I lost someone too.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
by his choice.
Yeah. We're
Mayor Stephen Follop of New Jersey said last night live that basically she's an idiot. He said she's ignorant.
Ignorant.
Well, she's got issues.
Do you think?
Yeah, she's got issues, and maybe her and her husband had reached the end of their tether based on whatever they'd been experiencing in their life. Was the right thing to do to go out and just randomly kill somebody because they felt whatever the particular way? Heck no.
Lawrence Campbell, the shooter, was wanted for murder in another city.
For who?
Okay.
Another cop?
No, but in another city.
Looney.
Waited inside the Walgreens for officers to arrive.
It was his agenda.
And then took steady aim, shot right through the windshield.
Oh, so he didn't even get out the car.
No. And the officer, Melvin Santiago, 23 years old, 1 year on the force.
Baby.
And we are so screwed up that we set up a memorial on behalf of the shooter.
We are not all screwed up.
Well,
You mean society? There's
society,
sectors.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? It's just a terrible state of affairs that there's going to be people that found what he did commendable.
People took to social media, and hundreds of people, okay,
Did what?
telling this guy, Lawrence Campbell, rest in peace.
What? Hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people.
Is there more to the story that we don't know?
No. This is
Steve,
what's wrong.
you're holding out on me.
I'm not.
You're holding
this
out
is
on
what
me.
is wrong.
There's no way hundreds of people went on Facebook and said rest in peace to a guy who just murdered two people.
Not just Facebook. Because this story's all over the news.
No,
NBC out
you're
of New
missing
York.
something.
ABC out of New York. Commenting
Was that
on
an
their
article from
websites.
Fox?
Ah,
That's an article from ABC News in New York.
There's something missing.
And the article was written by the Associated Press.
There's something missing. Something's missing.
This is what is wrong with our planet. It's terrible. It's terrible. Last night on the 91
the list
freeway,
of things that's wrong with our planet is like endless. And I mean, it's endless. It really is. But I just think of Donner. And I'm thinking, is there something else to this story that made this man lose it?
maybe the guy was whacked out on drugs.
Hundreds of people?
All gang members, probably.
You know what?
Hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people. On all.
How many people share
sites.
you can't find hundreds of people that share a dislike of cops?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
But I'm just saying, maybe there was something more to the story that we're not aware.
there's not. Not that
That
has
not
come
that we're
out.
aware. Yeah.
No, there isn't. You know, as an example, last night on the 91 freeway, guys driving down the 91 freeway near the 57. He's the passenger in a white Ford F-150. A car pulls up next to him and shoots right through the windshield.
Yeah.
Okay, kills the passenger.
That's happening again, huh?
32-year-old passenger in front of his kids.
Oh,
Yeah. Isn't that
Okay?
disgusting?
His kids are in the back seat.
Screaming, flipping out.
Absolutely zero criminal history.
The guy who shot him?
No, we
Oh,
don't
the
know who
passenger.
shot him.
The passenger.
The passenger.
That
Never
road
so
rage
much
will
as a
kill you.
speeding ticket. Driving down the freeway with two kids in the
Now,
car.
was he the passenger?
He was the passenger. He was not driving. The driver, I don't know the driver's name, but the driver was taken to the hospital. He'll survive whatever injuries he had. I don't know whether he was
Maybe
hit
it's glass.
to or glass or whatever. The passenger, Augustin Villegas, 32 years old, of Anaheim, killed in the front seat
just living
his
his
kids in
life,
the
just
back.
trying to
with
do
his kids in the back.
doing the best he can.
Just doing the same struggle we all are.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
We're we are way out of control.
It is. It is.
Pick a country on just everybody. It's nuts.
Yeah. There's nowhere you can go to escape it. That's what's horrible.
Yeah, you cannot escape it. You know what I watched? It was called The Sacrament, and it was a movie pulled from Vice. Do you watch Vice?
No.
Do you know what Vice is?
No.
It's really awesome. It comes on after Bill Maher.
What channel?
It's HBO, Steve.
Oh, HBO. Okay. Got it.
What time's it on?
Right. And Vice is like the super investigators of all super investigators. Like they go to places that, like, they would be the ones that would have went to the location where that man got his head cut off. Remember that video years ago of the Al Qaeda cutting off that guy's?
Yeah.
They would be the investigators that would actually put themselves in that kind of position. They go to places that no one even thinks to go. And they went to this place in Africa. There was some nutcase minister guy in the States that it was like a is it Tom Jones?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones. It was like a Jim Jones type thing. But what happened was, because they came there, it reminded all the people there that they really wanted to get the hell out of there, because it was like a culty thing and it was nuts. And so it kind of ended up with this revolt that was like the second largest mass suicide in history.
That's what happened with Jim Jones.
Right. But they were actually there, these guys from Vice. And they, the movie was based on the experience that they found. And what was interesting is that all of these people were trying to get away from all of this. They were putting their faith in man, trying to get away from that, and ended up far worse.
Yeah.
In some culty thing that was like crazy, and ended up with costing all of their lives.
Well, you got to jot that down for me. I'd like to see that.
The Sacrament.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick
True
thing.
story.
On my iPod, I actually have the audio recording during the Kool-Aid Bash in Jonestown.
Jesus.
I actually have that.
I think I've listened to that.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to listen to that.
Actually, I think
Actually, somewhere I have the Branch Davidians singing hymns, too, somewhere.
Those are the ones with the...
In Waco.
Oh, okay. I thought they were the ones with the triangle purple thing, and they went to...
Although I have seen their shrouds and empty barbiturate bottles from them and their sneakers.
Just wait for it.
See,
That was so weird with the sneakers. All of them had the same sneakers and the same purple triangle thing.
Yeah. They have all that at the Museum of Death. I have to take you down there.
There's a Museum of Death?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that at?
This
is what's wrong with us. We have a Museum of Death.
It was in San Diego, and then it moved back east, and now it's in Hollywood.
Of course it's in Hollywood. Right next to the Wax Museum.
Yeah, it's right near Groman's Chinese Theater. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to take you down. I took Cindy and I took my niece. I've been several times. They actually had this thing upstairs.
This is what's wrong with us.
They had Freak Farm USA upstairs, and they had all these freak animals. They had a chicken with 2 butts.
And then, on top of all these things being wrong with us, we send our kids to school, and we won't really talk to them about issues. Because we want to keep it all PG-13.
Well,
like,
what kind of issues?
Just life issues. Like, why are you treating each other disrespectfully? Let's get down to the raw part of it. Because you want to do a rainbow on this dude? Well, let's talk about how that makes you look. I mean, listen, these kids are innocent by age mostly only. They know more than we can fathom. And we keep trying to talk to them as if they're babes out of the womb.
No, I talk to my son. You talk to your kids.
I'm saying at school.
There's sometimes I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love to be able to have.
I think there's sometimes a line.
But why is there a line? This is the thing. I don't believe that any teacher should get in front of a classroom and state whatever their beliefs are. Because that should be taught at home. You teach history, you teach math, you teach science, you teach whatever the subjects are. But your personal beliefs about religion, blah, 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 that should be left at home. Absolutely. But why not get in front of a classroom and say, well, what do you think it says about you if you have 9 sex partners in your first semester of high school? Why can't you say that? Why wouldn't that be a subject? Why not say that? Why not say, do you know that you're beautiful the way you are right this second? And you probably look the best that you ever will. I mean, why not give them some reality or put some stuff in their pathway that might trigger them to get off the path of destruction? Because these kids are so following the herd and no one's guiding them the opposite way. Oh, just kids do that. Just kids do that. You know, you walk through a high school and you see them hugged up. Why not say, why are you doing that?
Hugged up?
You don't know what that means?
It sounds like what it means.
That's what it means.
Okay. You can't do that at school.
You see it at schools all the time.
But you're not supposed to do that.
But they do.
I think, and I don't remember what it was, and if you do, then don't say it unless it's bad, something not too bad. But
yep.
I think I spoke to the high school class, and I think once I got on a subject that I think I was cautioned.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were.
I was. Yeah, I was cautioned to get off that subject right now.
It wasn't that you needed to get off the subject. The thing is that you have to open it up and let them discuss the points. Let them figure it out.
But what you were just saying, if, you know, it's not okay to have 9 sex partners, and that part of that starts at home. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but
I get what you're saying because
these parents are not doing their job. If we don't help these kids and actually be the community that helps raise these kids, we're stuck with this crap always.
I understand, and I agree with you.
If we don't deal with the fact that, you know, I mean, I know you guys are going to kill me, but if we don't deal with the fact that little kids that don't look a certain way need to be cautious the way they deal with police or deal with general people in some situations, you're just putting marks on their heads. They're thinking they can behave the way they want to at all times, and that's not the reality. If we don't say to them, you having your pants sagging looks like what? Instead of saying, just don't do it, or pull your pants up, or your mama didn't teach you like that. Just open the dialogue so that we can get in there, because they do have brains.
Isn't it interesting that just one thing, like saggy pants with the boxers hanging out, just that one thing can change an entire perspective of
Yeah.
how somebody is perceived.
Absolutely.
Okay? Just that one thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How do we get on this subject?
I don't know. Rambling.
Vice.
Yeah,
Vice.
Vice. You need to watch Vice.
It was okay. I'll work on that. We talked
I'll
yesterday
tell you
about
what time it comes on.
what time's that other show come on Netflix?
It comes on right after Vice.
Okay. We talked yesterday about the federal officer that works for the Federal Protection Agency that fired a shot into a crowd at a truck. He's been put on paid leave.
Paid leave, no less.
Well, they have to investigate, but here's the thing.
What is there to investigate? I mean, I get you got to investigate why he did it.
Yeah, I heard a little bit more.
But he did do it. So why are you paying him?
Okay, here's the thing. Okay?
This is it.
All right.
Just put all the bad stories, crazy, lunacy, earth stories right there.
I can't tell you.
This whole thing is going to end up over there.
Okay. I can't tell you why he did it. The statement that he's made hasn't been released, but circumstances have changed. All right?
Of course.
So
give him time.
We're back to, there's about 1,800 people, okay, right on the corner of Veteran and Wilshire Boulevard. That intersection, by the way, is, I think, one of the top 3 busiest intersections
Okay.
in
and
America.
this is in the middle of the day, right?
This is in the middle of the day, okay?
How could that be the top 3 busy? Come on now.
I read a study. I'll get into that. Okay, I read a study, okay, at one time, that you're talking about Westwood, okay?
Yeah.
Okay? You're talking about Westwood.
Yeah.
That in an 8-hour period, more than 150,000 vehicles will cross that intersection.
And that's the 3rd busiest?
That is
And-
a lot of people.
But I've been down there countless times, and it doesn't look anything like Chicago or New York.
'Cause that's more condensed.
It's a corner, and that's what you're talking about.
I'm just telling you. Okay, so let me go on.
Okay, go ahead, go.
All right, so while people are demonstrating, a truck pulls up with 4 guys in it, okay? They're pro-Israeli protesters. They grab,
Which we know now.
which we know now.
But the cop didn't know.
No. All he knew was they're driving down the street. They grab a Palestinian flag, okay, and then step on it, okay? That starts a whole, now you've got 1,800 people that are about to flip out, okay? And now it's going to turn into something crazy, okay? He sees a guy take a flagpole and swing it at another person, okay? At that point,
He thinks the good idea is...
okay, at that point, it said that then he drew his weapon,
And just shot randomly in the crowd.
and it may not have been so random. It may have been relatively well placed, but
Unreal how we're trying to... You're just telling the story, though, right?
I'm only telling the story.
Okay.
Okay.
Because isn't it amazing how 24 hours later we can come up with all of this that kind of works him out okay?
Now, there's a lot of people in this crowd of 1,800 people, right?
Right.
And you've got a federal officer that's in the middle of the crowd,
Right.
who discharges his weapon, right? And then you have other federal officers. They don't know where the shot came from, okay? And they yell, "Shots fired."
Yes.
Okay? Gun, okay?
That's how you get reflex shooting going.
That-
Exactly.
It is, okay? And that's where it really could have gotten bad.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Fortunately, it
It
didn't.
didn't. Thank
okay?
God.
But that's when it could have been terrible. So he's on paid leave while they
The
investigate.
paid leave is an
what
issue
goes
for
on.
me.
The 4 guys in the truck, okay, were arrested. Okay? For
Inciting or attempting to incite a riot.
and for
Wow.
assault and because one guy swung and
Okay.
hit this and but it's interesting because they give a whole different story.
Of course.
Okay,
Yes.
they say, hey, you guys, there were enough people there shooting enough video Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And
Somebody's
we're
got
in
it
front of
on
the
tape.
federal building, so I know you guys have video
Yeah,
on
yeah,
this
yeah.
too. Okay? Go back and look at it, because everything you're saying about us, we didn't do.
Nice.
Okay?
Let's see how long it takes before the video comes up.
No video has come up yet.
Uh-oh.
Okay? I've seen video. I didn't see. I've seen parts of it. Okay, but I haven't seen the whole thing. Okay, and nothing that was a broad, wide shot that you could really see what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's on paid leave.
Paid leave.
While they try to figure out what's going on.
I mean, you would think that was just one of the things that you're not supposed to do. Like, it's in the manual. You don't shoot in a crowd of people. If you do, you're fired.
Right, because that's crazy. I mean, that's one of the
like,
jokes
I don't get
is
the
to
paid.
say.
Yeah, it's like, paid?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This morning, in about an hour and a half, the LA County Board of Supervisors are going to vote on. Well, Governor Jerry Brown last November, he signed into law Laura's law. Okay, which would allow each county has to go ahead and pass it into law, but Orange County did,
Yes.
where the court
Who's Laura?
where the court can now order someone
Yeah, I'm with
Okay.
this.
to have mental health treatment. Okay,
Uh-oh.
and
We
NAMI's
back
very
in the
behind this too.
60s.
Okay,
We're back in the 60s. In the
Okay.
60s, the husbands is going to put their wives in now.
well, but
No,
there-
but look at the
but here's
parents
the thing.
who's stuck
Yeah,
with a child
It
that's
is a good thing.
schizophrenic.
It
and-
totally is a good thing.
It is a good thing, and there's a big argument about this is that there are a lot of people in the jail system. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That seriously need help.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't claim insanity anymore. They don't buy it. Nobody buys insanity anymore. Like if you're a mother of 3 and you drown all 3 of your kids, to me you're insane.
Okay, but I don't want that person put in a hospital for the rest of their lives. Because that's terrible. That's
Yeah,
that's
it is
heinous.
terrible, but
that's
it's
beyond
insane.
There's a difference between not being of sound mind and just doing something that's just so awful and disgusting and heinous.
It is awful, disgusting, and heinous, but you're still insane, in my opinion. Because a sane person would not drown their kids.
That's like the woman that drove into the ocean you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the other one that literally drowned her kids in the bathtub
Well, so now
in the Midwest. Don't you guys remember that?
So Orange County passed the law in May,
Mm-hmm.
okay? So the judges had the power to say, I'm signing a court order, this is where you're going and you're going to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
You like that law?
I do like the law.
Isn't that amazing? Some things that change, you don't have a problem with.
Well, it makes sense to him.
It makes sense to me.
But you think it's bad that people just make up laws. We just went through that yesterday.
What do you mean?
Stop making all these laws all over the place.
That was me. There's way
That
too
was
many
you.
laws.
That was Steve too. Rewind the tape.
Oh, okay.
No, I think that's a prudent thing. Isn't that amazing that we still? You would think that's already there. You would think that's
Well,
already
they
there.
cut back. They've scaled back so much on mental health.
You would think that it's already there, but it's not. They're going to meet this morning at 9:30, LA County Board of Supervisors, and
Oh, I hope they go with it.
do something. And it's. I think this can help a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Absolutely. Is there room for abuse? Of course. But they're just going to
Well, with
have some
anything, there
talented
is.
people that can, make some really good analysis on people that are going to come in there. Oh, it was crazy.
David Pillen, the president and CEO of Mental Health America of Los Angeles, is against it. He says treatment works best when it's freely chosen and voluntary.
Well, if you're nuts,
Yeah,
you don't
get
know.
to need it, okay?
If you're
I'm off
nuts,
my
you don't
meds because I
know.
felt better.
Yeah, I'm tired of the cloud in my head. I have to stop taking my meds. I'd rather hear the voice than have the cloud.
Right. I think this is good.
I think it's good. I
hope-
think anything that brings awareness to the fact that a mental illness is just as common as cancer or anything else is a great thing. And when we get to the point where, I saw this Facebook post yesterday when they were talking about you're not weak if you have a nervous breakdown or if you can't take it or if you're on an antidepressant. It's called you were strong as long as you could and now you're broken. You know what I mean? I forgot. I'm paraphrasing. It was a lot better said on Facebook. But the bottom line is people don't want to tell anybody if you're on Prozac, except for Jeff. People don't, go around jingling their happy pills except for Jeff.
If you're happy and, shake your meds.
People don't normally, want to divulge that because they think that it's a form of weakness or, oh my goodness, you're about to lose your mind. But the good thing, the reality is, as long as he's taking his meds, it's good to be in the room with him. It's when he doesn't come in shaking his meds that we should be concerned. If he doesn't come in with that gloss on his eye.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they got to be glasses. Wow. I got to look like a mounted deer head. Yeah. And you're okay.
You're good today, huh, John?
Wow. Okay, we're moving on. Octomom yesterday.
Oh.
Pled no contest to one misdemeanor count of welfare fraud.
God, I wanted to get her on the show.
Okay. When she lived up here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have sprung for the bounce house in the parking lot in the radio station just to get her in
She
there.
knows darn well she was frauding.
Now, she was originally charged with 4 felony counts.
Ooh.
Okay? She was able to go into court yesterday and explain to the judge that she
Got
had
200
paid back
kids.
$26,000 of the $30,000.
Okay.
Okay? So she had already made that restitution in 2 forms. It was $16,000 to L.A. County, and then there was state, and so she had paid that much back. So she now has 2 years of summary probation and 200 hours of community service. That's where you can go find her, Jeff.
Yeah.
She
Ooh,
don't
okay.
have time for community service.
Along the freeway somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay?
She's reading books in the library. She got to go somewhere that she could bring her brood.
And she doesn't. If she's out there picking up trash, she doesn't need a trash bag. She got that huge uterus now. She can hold more than one of those big hippie sets.
Wow.
Did you hear she got beat?
Yes.
Yeah, someone in Asia squirted out 11.
11 kids. 11 kids.
Was that just the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
And they had them all lined up. I was like, good Lord.
I think I saw that. Well,
who does that to themselves?
Oh.
she was very lucky. She was able to continue this case and keep things going so she could pay back money. So when she went into court...
she looked good.
Yeah. It would be good.
Where's her kids at? Does she? I mean, how is she raising all these?
I'm not even sure where she's living. Oh, she's living in Orange County now.
Oh.
Okay. She's no longer receiving any benefits from L.A. County.
Oh.
I don't know whether she is receiving anything from Orange County, but she's done with L.A. County.
It's got to look like a gymboree over there. I couldn't imagine that many kids.
How many is it? It's 8, but she had
some
before that, right?
Yeah.
She had like 2 or 3 before the 8, right?
I think 4. Oh, yeah, that's insane.
I don't know. Bo Bergdahl.
Ugh.
Bo Bergdahl, back in the news. He's completely his reintegration process. He now has a job.
Oh, really?
He's
still in the service.
He is still in the service.
Okay.
He is free to come and go as he wants.
And as long as the media doesn't blow him up, he won't be held on charges.
He is. He lives. He lives on base at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio, Texas.
He will never leave the base.
He is doing administrative duties.
Yeah, he's
as a sergeant on a desk job. He can go. He can go to the movies. He can go. He's free to do whatever he wants to do.
Does he get a gun?
Okay, I have no idea.
You would be shocked how few guns there are actually on a military base.
You can't carry a gun.
But when you're off base, you can. I'm saying, can he have a gun?
I'm sure if he want yeah.
Isn't that sick?
I would imagine.
Wouldn't you think if you've been, if you've been a prisoner of war, we're not going to let you have a gun.
Now
there's indoctrination going on while they're
right. That's homeland waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people have already made up their mind about him. Okay.
I want to know how it
he's
went
a
with
traitor.
his parents.
No,
this guy was mentally sick. This guy should never have went into the service because he wasn't right in the head.
He's completed all the psychological things that he has to go through. He's all done with all of that, okay?
He completed it, but they're not telling us what the results were.
No, now
Yeah, they know there's a file somewhere they'll
Yeah.
get added to.
Put this one up, Jeff. Here.
there's still a current investigation into his disappearance.
Yeah, that's
However,
just gonna be,
okay?
yeah.
However, if he is deemed to have been a prisoner of war and he was not a deserter, he is also going to get $350,000 dropped in his bank account.
Nice.
Okay? $200,000 from back pay
Oh wow.
and $150,000
From
being
damages.
a prisoner of war.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay?
Well, that's going to be hard because he walked out.
yeah.
It's going to be hard to prove. I mean, where you go to get ice cream?
Well, think about where this is headed, though, because I know what you're saying. Okay, that's going to be hard because he walked out. But the guy that walked out is currently being paid by the United States military
Oh yeah. 'Cause
to
that's what
perform
we
a
do.
job.
Yeah, that's what we
Okay.
do. That's what we do.
So, as I said, a lot of people have made up their mind. Maybe there's more to this story.
There is more
Maybe
to the
there's
story,
something-
but I don't think that he should get desertion pay. I mean, he should get prisoner pay because you set yourself out. You went for a walk looking for the enemy.
Okay, but he was a prisoner, right? Okay.
Yes.
He was a prisoner. All right?
But you deserted
Kept in
before
a
you were a
cage.
prisoner.
I understand, okay?
And that's the reason why I don't think he needs to go to prison now. Because, dummy, like you learned the
Time
ultimate
served.
lesson. Don't go deserting if you're, you learned your lesson. So don't put him in prison, but don't give him $150,000. I don't even think he should get the back pay. You left. You quit.
You know what's different about this is that if he was walking down the street, nobody would really recognize him.
No,
No.
they did this one good.
Yeah, he can go out and live a free life.
Oh yeah.
But they are currently doing an investigation, and obviously the military and the FBI and the CIA and everybody else, they know a lot more than we know.
Oh yeah, because the whole thing. I mean, the red flags are up everywhere. The minute the guys in his platoon or whatever you call it all had to sign a non-disclosure, that is a big red flag. Like, what is going on? If that's not customary, why did they have to do it?
But I saw a lot of the people from his platoon on the news, and they were talking about it.
They talk about him. They don't talk about what happened on the base.
You're right. They don't.
They don't, because
Yeah.
they can't.
Yeah.
So what in the heck was y'all doing over there?
Well, I don't know, we're going to find out. But I think it's kind of interesting that he's already reintegrated himself. He's already at work
Dude,
and
you
could
need
get
to change your name. 'Cause
$350,000.
who wants to mess with you?
Okay. Nobody's going to know. That's come on. That's when he was a prisoner.
Some
he probably looks
dummies
totally
gonna-
different now.
There's no way.
Totally.
Look, he could look whatever he want to look like, but he's going to have flashbacks
You know
in the
what?
middle of the night.
None of us would even know him if he walked down the street.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? And they've done a good job at that.
Yeah.
Okay? There is a company that's, we talk about making schools safer. There is a company that is now marketing, because there's been bulletproof vests,
Yeah.
bulletproof glass.
Yeah.
Now a company has bulletproof doors. And they're marketing these doors to school districts.
And put some lead in the walls.
No, it's made out of a ballistic fiberglass. All right,
Yes,
they
you
did a
did.
demonstration in Chino yesterday for a lot of schools. And when you think about it, it actually is kind of smart.
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
It is.
it's not tremendously costly. All right.
I don't care what the cost
Well,
is.
okay, but I'm just saying it's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah.
One door is about $500.
Yikes.
Okay.
But if you're getting 50 million,
okay.
can you
But
get
here's the
price
thing. Okay.
breakdown? Go to China.
And then there's an automatic door closer
That's scary.
if you choose to have that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the scary part.
That's another $500.
Your
okay?
arm is in the way. It's closing.
But they took both a shotgun and high-powered rifles, and they shot it into this door. And in the front of the door, you can see all the holes. and you turn the door around and nothing penetrates it.
Good. That's good.
At all. Mm-hmm. And you think, as a stopgap measure, okay, main entrances, different areas, to have some of these, you know what?
Especially on the West Coast, or I don't know, because in New York, the schools are fixed buildings. Like you don't have bungalows. You have, 6 entrances, and that's it. And now every entrance has a metal detector. You're in kindergarten going through the metal detector, going to school, in the cities. But when you're in LA, it's like you can get on this campus any kind of way. It's crazy, and hit any bungalow. So that would be awesome. All you got to do is make it to a building. Close the door. This all has to be, the front of it all has to have some protection, though. The glass has to be bulletproof. The wall, you can't. It's got to have some lead in the wall or whatever you need to have.
Just a minute ago we talked about the police officer in New Jersey, and they set up the memorial for the shooter. Mm-hmm. Okay, and now we're talking about, look at this. You've got the world we live in. Mm-hmm. Now the kids have to be under guard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's so out of control.
Isn't it? It's disgusting.
It is. Just in L.A. yesterday, a guy had been barricaded for about 12 hours. He had 2 AK-47s, killed a bunch of people. This is where we are. It is. It's out of control. Okay, it's very out of control. That's why
we should have never let guns in. We should have been more like London, like England. There's not a lot of guns out there.
A lot of the police don't carry guns there.
Right.
Either.
And there's no crime there.
There's crime, but there's not what we got.
It is really strange, walking around London and talking to police officers.
And they seem to get their job done.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like crazy martial arts training.
But this is something really neat, and we've talked about the schools up in the Palmdale and in the Antelope Valley and Lancaster. This is actually something that's really kind of neat because it's not an in-your-face kind of a thing.
Right.
Okay, a door is a door. Mm-hmm. Okay, it just happens to be
bulletproof.
Bulletproof.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So works for me.
So then you make a room or a school. It's like a panic room.
No, every classroom has to have a bulletproof door. What are you talking about? Arts and crafts can't have the only door that you can shoot through.
I didn't say. Well, who said the?
Well, because you said panic room, like you got to get to that one room. Every door in the school has to have it.
Yeah, but at the very front of the school, okay, first door, can't get in.
Right.
And then you're good.
No, because you just hop this fence right here.
Well, I'm talking somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, but you get dog things in your leg before you get too far.
That's true. Let the dog just go crazy.
Okay. All right. I just think that's really neat.
Yeah.
I think schools, if they're listening, they should look into this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I think it's kind of cool. In fact, should I even say who the company is?
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
I can do that, right?
Yeah.
All I got to do is figure it out.
Just a little technicality.
Oh, the company is called Safer Schools for America. Okay. Yeah, it's really cool. It's something neat. So, yeah, or you can hit us up and we'll give you more information. We talked a long time ago, and this has been going on, about the California billionaire Tim Draper, that wants to split California into 6 separate states. Okay?
He just has nothing else to do with his money.
6 is too many.
The state that we would be in, okay, we would be known as West California. Okay?
West?
We would be known as West California.
We're on the far east side of West.
I know, but that's
right.
We're east of We're way east of Reno.
We're East California.
Isn't that the weirdest thing? Have you ever thought about that? Look at a map. Los Angeles is east of Reno. Mm-hmm. It's the weirdest thing. It's so hard to wrap your brain around.
You got your meds, though, right?
Okay.
You don't find that odd? A state to the east of us is west of a city? You don't find that weird?
No.
No, okay.
Okay, what Tim Draper wanted to do was get this measure on the ballot.
because idiots will vote for it.
Well, here's the thing, and
Should
everybody
be in
said
North and South California.
I didn't say that.
everybody said that this is a really dumb, convoluted idea.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you talk to certain people, okay, if you talk to 10 people, you're going to find one that's going to say, you know what?
Why?
As an example, okay, certain things that are passing through the state legislature, okay, Northern California at times thinks differently than Southern California.
Very much
okay?
so.
And they're very divided on certain things. All right?
Okay.
You will find people that think differently. Okay.
But that's in every state you're in.
I understand. So he wants to split it all up.
And put all the people like-minded. I mean, that's silly.
Okay,
it's
into
just silly.
6 states. And
Six,
the states,
no less.
The states would be known as South California, West California, Central California. Silicon Valley would be now a state. North California, and then
Why Silicon
Jefferson.
gets to keep their name?
Okay. Because that's where all the money is right now. They get a good name.
Los Angeles.
Do you know what the biggest industry is right now in Silicon Valley?
What?
What the most growing industry is?
What?
Prostitution. Because you got a lot of ugly nerds with a lot of disposable
They've been
income.
working 16 hours a day. Can't even think to speak to a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Tim Draper, he has
I
put...
think I heard that.
Yep.
He's put about $4 to $5 million of his own money, okay, trying to further this initiative, okay?
What a waste of money.
He only had a short period of time, and he had to gather 808,000 signatures, okay, on a petition to force the measure in a public referendum on November.
Don't say he did it.
He did.
Woo!
He's delivering all the signatures and petition today.
So it's going to be on our ballot?
It's going to be on...
Stupid
I'm
people are going
thinking-
to pass this, Jeff.
Well, I can't say that it will be on the ballot
In November?
here in November, but
I wonder how many
it
people
would
are going
make
to
it
do like me
it
and
would
vote
make
yes
it
on a
on the
lark.
presidential election.
Oh, okay.
In
So
2016.
at some point we're going to
Okay.
see it.
At some point, yeah, you're going to see it, okay?
What'd you say, Jeff?
I said, I wonder how many people are going to be like me and vote yes on a lark.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's going to
As
pass.
a goof. Yeah.
Now, it sounds really crazy, but if you go back and you look, there have been, in the past, there have been over 200 efforts to try to divide California. Okay?
But what
All of
is-
them have failed.
But the reason
But now you
cannot
have a
be
billionaire
because
that's
North
behind it.
California thinks different than South. That can't be the reason. That can't be the underlying reason.
I don't think like people in
in your neighborhood.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm more like the people down here than I am in somebody up in Humboldt.
Yeah, that's so
I don't think like
idiotic.
that.
That cannot be. That can't just be the reason.
I don't own a pair of Birkenstocks. I never
Right.
will.
I could.
It takes
Only man who should wear sandals is Jesus.
it takes the huge financial wheel, okay, that runs the state of California,
Yeah.
and starts to break that apart. So 6 states would now be responsible, okay? 6 states would now be receiving income, and then they could govern those 6 states differently.
All they're going to do
okay?
is break the pot up.
Well, certain areas of California have different needs than other areas of California.
Of course.
Okay? And certain areas of California find themselves kicking into the pot money
I mean, you look
that actually goes somewhere else.
Look at the look at the water issue. If you've seen my big jug. If I dip that into my swimming pool, okay, and filled it up, that is the amount of water that regular people use in this state compared to the rest of the swimming pool. The rest of the swimming pool is farmers and municipalities and that kind of thing. They're telling us to conserve water. The bulk of it is used by farmers and all that. If that was into a separate state, we wouldn't be having a water crisis here. The water's being used elsewhere in the state.
Now, what about the state? Okay, what about the state that say this thing happens? Okay, and one out of the 6 states happens to have a lot of water.
Then they got a whole lot of water.
They can make bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's terrible.
But what people are saying about this is, one, it has zero chance of passage. Two,
Please.
what it does is scare investment away
We
at a
thought
time when
Tanaka wasn't getting
California,
elected.
our elected officials and the governor are trying to make an economic comeback. You're telling businesses, hey, you better think twice about coming over here because we got 1 million people that just signed that we're going to break this place up.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So you better think about it again. He says he thinks he can get it passed. Because he can throw enough money behind it and enough advertising behind it.
Yeah, and people don't think about it. And people will go, as a goof and vote yes. And,
Jeff.
and then we'll wake up with, we're in the state of South California. What is it? West California.
West California.
We'd be in West California.
That's silly.
I've heard people up here in the Antelope Valley say that we need to break away.
For what?
Break away from L.A. County.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that a lot of times.
All my life.
Okay?
I don't know about that either.
Make Lancaster and Palmdale
Mojave County.
all one thing. Break away, and do our own thing.
The counties can't even get
Okay.
along. I mean, the two cities. Why would we want to break away?
That's it. They want to make it one Palmcaster and
Yeah, but
Landale and be done with it.
You'd be surprised. They do more together. People don't know. Okay, I'm telling you.
But you
okay?
just told me the other day.
I'm telling you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Boy, you talk a lot.
I didn't say what it was.
Boy, you talk a lot. Okay. A woman who reported that she was raped by a Saudi, one of the richest men in the world, a Saudi sheik's son, has been charged with conspiracy to extort money.
Is that the maid in New York?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This is actually here. This is here in California. She's been charged with conspiracy to extort money, okay, and her 2 attorneys have been thrown in jail. And I love a story, okay, that finds corrupt attorneys,
Wow.
okay?
But is it true, or is it long dollars of the sheik?
The whole thing was a lie.
And we know this why.
And we know this why, because I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Okay? Layla Orrs, she's 33 years old, okay? In March, she went to police and said that she was raped and tortured by a gentleman by the name of Thalmer Al-Bawali.
Okay, that was good.
He's 23. I got through that. He's 23 years old. He is the son of a very rich Sheikh Mansour Al-Bawali. Okay. Anyway.
Go ahead, Steve.
They gave her some physical examinations, but she had visible injuries.
Okay.
Okay? They arrested Thalmer Al-Bawali and charged him with 4 counts of sexual assault on March 13th.
I thought he was immune.
No,
He's
it's
a
not
son
a
of the
diplomatic immunity. So what?
That's son of big dollars.
Okay. No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay? All right. They charged him with 4 counts of sexual assault. Okay? Then, this woman, Lila Orr's attorney, Emmanuel Hudson, called the sheik in June and told him, hey, I got a plan. Orrs will not testify in the case. All you have to do is wire $15 million over. All right? On the same day, the sheik gets a call from Orr's other attorney, Joseph Cavallo, who called the sheik and said, hey, I got a better idea. Forget the $15 million.
Uh-oh.
It's now $20 million. You took too long.
Oh, okay.
Okay? We're going to raise the price. Okay? Well, this is a sheik, and he can reach out to lots of powerful people.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
He reached out. Okay? They did a little investigation, found out that all of her claims were false.
Based on what?
Based on, what do you mean what?
He said, she said.
Yeah. I mean, how do they know that it was
Self-inflicted.
Really false? How do they know? I'm just saying, Steve, how do they know?
They went back to her. Okay? Hey, we're not going to put you in jail, but here's what we know.
How do you know?
The kid never did it. Okay? It was a he said, she said.
Right.
Okay?
And that's where it is, and that's where it begins and ends.
Correct. Now they went back and said, hey, we know you didn't do it. She said, you're right. I didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
She conspired with the two attorneys.
That's what she admitted.
Yes.
You got to look in the Caymans now.
Investigators.
Yeah, I don't know.
Investigators arrested both attorneys. They're both out on bail. One is due for arraignment today.
I wonder if the attorneys are admitting to making those calls to the sheik.
There's phone records.
How come you just go for it, whatever it is?
There's
How come
phone
you just
records.
go for it? I mean, this is long dollars. They could very well all be set up. Just as quick as...
By whom? She's already said the whole thing was a setup.
Yeah, because you've been interrogated for 19 hours with the bright light.
Oh, come on.
What, it doesn't happen? What world
You
do you
watch too
live
much
in?
Vice.
Oh.
You're watching too much
Jeff,
Vice.
am I
They
going...
don't do that, the dark room and the little light
my
and smoke
God.
filled. It doesn't happen that way.
Jeff,
anymore.
help me, please.
Oh, you know, I always see the worst in things.
That's what I'm saying. He just... it's the truth. Ah!
Stephen has rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
You know before they even arrested the attorneys that they already investigated. I'll bet you that the phone calls to the sheik were recorded. 1. 2, I'll bet they already investigated the phone calls going to the sheik, and they have phone records. I bet they subpoenaed all of that. The sheik is not dumb, okay? I mean, you are calling a powerful place, okay? That's like calling
But see, that's
the
more...
penthouse
that,
at the
that,
Black Rock
that,
at Universal.
To me, that lends to the reason why I'm really skeptical about it. Because why would these attorneys risk... Why would they call? Why wouldn't they come to terms with how much money they really want? Why would they do that? I mean, they're not stupid either. They're attorneys.
Never underestimate the other person's greed.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay.
Or the other person's desire to make sure their baby don't go to jail in America.
Yep.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yep.
Just saying.
I totally
Quite
disagree.
interesting.
I totally disagree
This
with you
is
guys.
interesting.
Okay? I'm just letting you know. You guys are wrong.
I mean, you don't know. You don't know.
you guys
We really have no clue what went on.
you got
That's what we know for sure. We have.
You have enough money, you can
Let's-
tweak anything to however you want it to look.
Did you hear that? You got enough money, you could tweak anything.
they wouldn't go. Okay, let's look
Oh
at this for a
Lord,
minute.
they wouldn't do
Let's
what?
look at this
Steve?
for a
What would
minute,
they
okay?
do?
I
Let's
got a
look at
picture of
this.
George Bush and a sheik holding hands while they're walking.
I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And there were lots of them.
Yeah.
And they donated a lot of money to this is George Sr., right?
Junior.
Oh, I've seen Senior too. Okay? It donated a lot of money to that campaign. Okay?
So you
They're-
don't think that they can make things happen?
Hold on.
It's
They're
called
not
calling
gonna
the
go.
fix-it girl.
What?
Call the fix-it lady.
No one is going to go public with two phone calls that both happened the same day, one for
come
15
on,
million,
Steve.
one for 20 million, if there wasn't evidence to back it up, right?
Clear your glasses.
What? They're clear. I'm good.
Yes, they would.
No, really?
They would.
Okay. I happen to really like a story when they find attorneys that have done bad things.
I mean, I would like that
Okay.
story too. I'm just not. I can't believe that they're that dumb to go that far. And you can't prove that it wasn't done. You can't prove it. Just even if she says that no, it didn't happen. That child is probably like, we're going to kill you, your mama, your father, your uncle, the baby you're about to have. I mean,
Oh, did I
they'll
mention
go
that,
deep on her.
Did I mention that all the charges against the sheik's son have been dismissed?
Of course they have.
Did I mention that?
Of course.
See?
Yeah. Isn't
All
that
done.
convenient? Quick, fast. This all happened in a month too, right?
In a matter of days, this was so
Probably.
rapid.
Most people in jail 16 years and you didn't do it. What about that high school guy that had a promising football career and the woman said she raped him and he was in jail 5 years.
Yeah, that was just last year that happened. That was just last year. Yesterday, the city of San Diego voted and raised the minimum wage in San Diego to $11.50.
And you hate it.
$11.50.
And you hate it.
And you know what? There are arguments on both sides of this, okay?
Of course, yeah.
And neither argument really is wrong.
And that's what you hate.
No. Neither argument really is wrong.
Yeah. Well, of course not, because it just depends on what shoe you have on. If you're the business owner, of course you don't want to be forced to have to pay people more money. You put in your mind, I can get 9 people to work for me because I only have to pay them $8 an hour. And that was your mindset when you decided to go into business, and now things have changed. But that's not the only thing that changes. Work comp changes, taxes change.
It's all
EDD
bigger.
changes.
Okay?
Everything changes, and all of that is part of running a business.
Right. So we're not just talking about another $2.50 an hour. Okay. You're talking about a lot more than that.
No. What do you mean? Work comp doesn't go up based on how much you pay an employee.
It's what, about 20 cents on the dollar?
Work comp?
Yeah, just
it depends. It depends on what business it is. It's a lot of different
varies.
factors, yeah.
Okay. Now, a lot of business owners last night were arguing that, okay, so instead of 9 employees, I have to go down to 7. Okay. Instead of 40 hours a week, now you're working 36 hours a week.
But see, this is where I think they're lying.
Instead of this much, okay, In-N-Out in San Diego, okay, yesterday said they are raising their prices.
In-N-Out pays their employees well anyway.
I'm just saying, okay?
And that's what they'll do. And that's why I don't like it, because these people are lying. These business owners, and you have your little piece of paper, this is my reality. They're lying. They're not going to fire 2 people to save that. They're going to raise their price. And they'll raise their price, and they'll end up making out better.
They're saying that they have to raise their prices.
Okay.
They are going to have to raise
It's called cost of living. Things go up. Bread got more expensive for those people that were getting paid minimum wage. Milk went up too before you raised this. So go ahead.
Not too far away. When we're already at 11:50, we're not too far away from meeting Washington.
Right, 15, yeah.
And hitting 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Not too far off.
And this is not a shame. And people thought that it was nice that we went up to 9 in L.A.
Now this doesn't take place in San Diego until 2017. Okay? They'll do it in a couple of steps between now and then. Okay? But people now in San Diego that are in jobs that normally would be a stair-stepping job to a career, okay, are now going to be looking at these jobs as, hey, Burger King is a career.
11.50.
11, yeah.
Come on, who's going to think that?
I know somebody.
I know somebody that's been at Burger King for 10 years and isn't making that much money.
But they don't think it's a career. They just think it's a job. They didn't go for a career. They can't possibly think it's a career.
I'm telling you, okay?
No further aspirations.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just broken.
I'm telling you. I was talking to Angelina about a story yesterday, and I know we don't have much time, but this is a woman that lived in Philadelphia, and she works 2 jobs, has a couple of kids, and she had been robbed coming home late at night.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
She had been robbed coming home late at night. So a friend or a neighbor or whatever told her that she should get a license to carry a concealed weapon. And she did. She took all the courses, did all the background checks, and she did, just to protect herself. Nothing bad ever happened to her since, okay? She went to visit somebody, though, and she had the gun in the car, and she got pulled over in New Jersey, and for a ticket. And the officer came up and gave me license, registration, and she did. And she also said, and I want to let you know that I have a concealed weapon permit, and I have a gun in my car. I'm just letting you know. The officer thanked her for being honest, and ran all over ID, and said, I wish you hadn't told me that. Because you just crossed state lines, and your license is only in Philadelphia. It isn't here.
He should have just let her go.
He couldn't.
What?
He couldn't.
What?
I don't know why he couldn't.
He could have. Cops pull you over all the time and say, okay, I'll let you go. I won't give you a ticket.
Okay. Anyway, he arrested her.
Right.
Okay?
That's a shame.
He arrested her. She goes through the process. She's in court yesterday.
He couldn't.
Okay?
Jeff!
And the judge says, listen, hands
were tied.
He says, I wish you weren't so honest. because we're different than a lot of other states. And in our state, what you did is a mandatory minimum 3-year prison sentence. I have no latitude at all.
Oh, yes, he does.
He has no latitude whatsoever.
He does.
None.
He does. He can suspend it. He can change it to community service. He got something.
He can't.
He can. Come on now. These judges do crazy crap every day.
All right.
New Jersey included.
This is a story that's all over the internet. Take a look at it. The judge is prepared to sentence her to 3 years in prison.
Suspended.
No.
House arrest. Go your behind back to Pennsylvania.
Every state has different. You have to understand when they have a mandatory law. Okay, this is it. That's all the judge can do. Okay.
So you have laws like murder that you have leeway in, and you have stupid laws like if you get caught with a gun, that's a mandatory law?
Yeah. Oh, and the gun was loaded and had hollow points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she wasn't playing.
Okay. No, she wasn't playing.
Right.
Okay.
And the cop should feel ashamed.
And the judge even said in court, he said, you're a sweet person and you're a really nice person, and I wish you weren't so honest. Because out of 100 people, 99 never would have said anything to the officer.
You never give out to... You only... Yes. No. Yes. I don't know.
She was trying to be, righteous and real. And
she's
and
not
I just
living
want to
on
let you
our planet.
know. Okay? Yeah, I feel really sorry for her.
Yeah.
I feel really sorry for her.
What I tell you all the
time. Now
time.
Who's going to watch your 2 kids?
Now you do not offer any information.
Yeah, no, you don't. Okay, we're out of time.
Yeah.
Okay, we're out of time. Tomorrow is the Palmdale Chamber of Commerce luncheon.
I thought it was today.
No, that's tomorrow.
Okay.
It is the State of the City. James Ledford will be giving the State of the City address, and that's at the Rancho Vista Golf Course at 11:30 for all. And thanks for making us the #1 News Talk radio program in the Antelope Valley and beyond. And we'll be back tomorrow.